What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what are the top things you should expect from your first week or maybe first and a half week at basic military training with the Air Force. But before we get into that, let me start off with some of the basics. My name is Michael Inman and I'm an airman in the United States Air Force. I upload a video every Monday, so if you want to join the journey, definitely hit the subscribe button and make sure to click the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Now, if you've watched a couple of my videos, you know I provide context from the get. So, as you know, or as you probably should expect, there is a lot of information being thrown at you when you get to basic training. And of course, 0 week and the first week, you are adjusting to a lot of new protocols, procedures, etc. But here are some things that you probably should expect and mentally prepare for. Not necessarily because they're the worst thing ever, but just because they are inevitable. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the obvious. Because during the year 2020 and 2021, basic training looks a little bit different, there will be a 2-week restriction of movement, which is a military term that is very similar to quarantine. But pretty much there will be a restriction of movement for the first 2 weeks of basic training. During those 2 weeks, your flight of, let's say, 50 people will be divided into 2 or 3 tents, and so you will not actually get to meet the rest of the people from your flight until after the quarantine moment to make sure that everyone is ready, fit, and healthy for the next few weeks of basic military training. So now that we got that big elephant out of the way, you know, it was just kind of standing in the middle of the road. Get it? I don't know. Now we can talk about the first thing that I'm sure at least my gentlemen know is a part of the first week, whether you want to call it 0 week or the week right after that. Pretty much, we're just going to combine both into this video. But that first element is getting your haircut. When I got my haircut, clearly I liked it a lot and I just kept the style. But for everyone else who has long locks and it's not their favorite thing, luckily it is quite a quick experience. You don't have much time to miss your hair when it's being cut off. Usually they're going to line you up in a couple of lines. You're already kind of marching as a flight by this time. Once again, you're pretty much, this is your second week, because the first week, the way it was set up, was 0 week, but it was only 4 days. 4 or 5 days. And then week 1 was your first full week of basic training. But so by now, you do understand how to stand in lines, AKA your element, and get to places around Lackland Air Force Base, if that's where you are spending your basic military training. So you stand in line outside of the barber shop. Your flight is eventually told to go in, and pretty much they have it down to a very, very efficient system. So when I say you don't have time to miss your hair being cut off, in a way you sit down in the chair and it's all gone in 3 minutes. So if you were really just going to break down in tears, I hope you can cry fast, because by the time the first tear drops, you need to get up, someone else needs to get their hair cut. So, and I have no idea how that's been adjusted for in the 2020 situation, but at least that's how it was. So definitely drop all emotional connection to your hair before you go to basic training. And ladies, you guys will learn how to do your bun within the first week and a half of basic training. So that will be your hair experience. I think the guys have it worse this time. After that, we're going to get into uniforms. During the first week and a half, I really just don't know what to say. I'm going to just start saying the first week. You guys know what I mean. During the first week, you are going to get your uniform. So that will be your OCPs, the beautiful brown-green situation. Beautiful. But the funny thing about when you get your uniform is that you're not going to get boots, nor will you have a name on your uniform yet. And so the name on the uniform later during Air Force basic training actually is kind of a symbol of how far you've made it. You've definitely almost reached the halfway mark. And so you not only are kind of used to life at basic military training, but also you're starting to develop that pride in getting this far and getting closer to completing the journey of basic military training. And in regards to the boots, it's just kind of embarrassing. You just look a little foolish, but it's okay because everyone at basic training has clearly gone through the first week of basic training. So they remember when they were marching around base in sneakers and when the flight just looked a disaster. It's okay, it's fine. Just for all my people, ladies and gentlemen, who do care about their aesthetics, care about their, outfits, their fashion, I would say just don't look in the mirror, or don't look down in the mirror. That's a life hack for you. So the next element of the first week of basic military training is you are going to start walking with a wingman. And so there's no clean, good way to put this. It just kind of sucks. Because for everyone out there who is independent like I am, if you are more dependent or you like your companionship, having a wingman always with you, excellent, feels great, you're never alone. But for people who are not on that side of the spectrum, it's just irritating because I'm just like, I want to go get my stuff from the laundromat. Billy, Joe, Bobby, who wants to walk with me downstairs? Do you need to get your stuff from the laundromat? I hope so. Because now I need to start asking people to come with me, and it just feels like a hassle. But we do what we must. So during the first week and a half, you are going to start adhering to the wingman policy. And so usually what we do is we find a BMT bestie, and that person or someone else in your clique usually will be happy to walk with you wherever you have to go, and of course vice versa. Whenever they need to go get something, they'll just give you a look and you'll be like, yeah, okay, let me stop clipping strings, one sec. So definitely prepare for that constraint, and you'll get used to it very quickly. Next, shot, 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 shot. I know that song, one, is really old, so most of you don't know it, but it was quite the banger when it came out. And secondly, most if not all of y'all are not of age, so I don't want y'all to know anything about shots. But in regards to this context, this video, of course, during the first week of BMT, you are going to have that experience in which you get to go to medical and have what feels like 20 shots stuck into your arm at one time. But really, it's more like 4 or 5 or 6 shots. And really, it's not all at one time, but it is probably within a minute and 10 seconds. So I hope that doesn't scare you. Hopefully not. Regardless, you get to do it. It feels very much like a conveyor belt. You do feel like an animal, kind of just being sent through a big warehouse, getting shots in both your arms. But it's all to keep you healthy, just in case you're in an environment with pathogens that really want to shut you down. So once again, that is something to brace for prior to going to basic military training. Like I said, it does happen within a minute and 10 seconds. So if you are horribly terrified of shots, 1, you won't be the first person to faint. 2, I think they do give you a half second to breathe, like, okay, are you ready? Are you prepared? Let's do it. And 3, I don't know, just know that Michael Inman believes in you. Breathe in, breathe out, let it happen, continue walking. You got this. After shots, we are now going to discuss detail assignments. As I'm sure you know, one of the primary aspects of basic military training is doing details. I've actually made the reference before in a previous video. You feel like you're singing, "It's a hard not life for us. It's a hard not life." Anywho, you get the example. The point is everyone will have a detail assignment, which think of it as a chore assignment somewhere in their BMT flight. And so some of those include cleaning the latrine, or in normal language, cleaning the restroom. Some group of people, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 3 airmen, are going to be cleaning the day room, which is the area where you meet with your MTL for like sit-down lessons. And then another example would be actually my personal favorite, sweeper. And it's only my favorite because when we're cleaning the barracks or the dorms, your fellow trainees are going to yell something that goes like, "Sweeper, go!" And the sweeper just starts going down the middle aisle, and if you're in Alcatraz, you go through the back door, and then you come up the other bay's middle aisle, and it just feels, once again, like a musical number, and really just getting towed to start your job with a collective sweeper go. It just became a thing. Everyone liked yelling, and the sweeper, of course, felt cheered on. So if you can be the sweeper, snag that job. There's nothing else good about it. It's just that they yell sweeper go. You heard it here first. After detail assignments, the next thing that you probably have definitely heard of, or at least now you will know about, is chow runner. Now that is a form of detail assignment, but it kind of stands alone, because clearly when we're cleaning the dorm, you're going to be on one of the teams cleaning something. But a special assignment during basic training that does rotate, so you won't be the person who always has this assignment, but it's called chow runner. And it pretty much means you are announcing that your flight has prepared to enter the dining facility, or DFAC, to the MTLs that are in that room, and then you exit to then start the process of your flight entering the dining facility. It is a terrible assignment. I slightly liked it only because you got to engage a little bit more with the MTLs for like very small moments, but most of the engagement, I would say about 75% of those engagements, weren't positive. Usually they were yelling at you, getting you to correct something, saying, why are you smiling, getting you to get the words right, because there's a very specific thing you're supposed to say. But the other 25% led to getting a smile out of them every now and then. And that felt like a win. So if you want a challenge, definitely volunteer for chow runner. But my recommendation is that you don't volunteer for chow runner. And if it happens that you're voluntold to be chow runner, put your best I can do it face on and figure it out. You got this. Now, another aspect of the first week of basic training, and probably the most infamous aspect of BMT, at least the one that a lot of people get nervous about. I know we're scared about academics. Yes, you've started classes by now, but no, that's not what I'm here to talk about. The final aspect of basic training during the first week of basic training that you should expect is that the PT initial assessment is going to take place. And so, technically how you do doesn't matter that much, because it's just a benchmark, meaning even if you can't run more than 10 feet, I don't know how you got into the Air Force. Anywho, even if that occurs, it's a benchmark. They're just trying to gauge where you are now, and thus it provides you insight into how hard you need to work to get to a passing score by the end of basic training. So, doesn't really matter, but it's something that you should note, that during the first week of BMT, you are going to have your initial PT assessment, and I would say give it your best shot, just to see where you're at, and see if, to be honest, you're already Warhawk status, the highest status you can get. And you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to lose this status, but that means I do not have to be pushing myself crazy hard if you do not choose to. So give the initial PT assessment your best go and see where you're at, and then of course, create your own benchmarks to get to where you need to be, and I'm sure you will. Again, you guys hear it a lot. I have full faith in you. You can do this. I know you can. Believe that you can, and you'll do it. So, those actually are all of the things that come top of mind. That come to mind, how about that? That come to mind when I think about my first week and a half in basic military training. In conclusion, I just think be open to all of the information being thrown at you. Grab as much as you can, as quick as you can, but understand that mistakes are going to be made and a lot of yelling is going to happen for this first week. It's normal. Do not let it take away the pep in your step. You're fine. Who cares? They're just yelling. They're just lifting their voice. It's fine. Listen to the words they say, not the tone. The tone's not relevant. Just be like, Why are you yelling? Oh wait, I'm at BMT. So it doesn't matter that they're yelling. They're pretty much saying I need to clip more strings off my uniform. Got it. That's all that's happening. Be able to do that. Remove the yelling in the way how you're processing the information, and then listen to the words and kind of figure out how to modify your behavior to do better. And that's it. Good luck. As always, I will see you next week. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you'd like to reach out or just get to know me more, definitely follow me on Instagram and or Twitter at michael_a_inman_. And I will see you next week. Deuces.